I was a lot better at this the first time around, but I really came here with no plan. Literally just like the first time. Sometimes you have to do things with no plan and just execute. Alright, cool. This is spot. Let me set the cam up. I hate this. This is one of my least favorite things to do when it comes to this hobby that I've been doing. Figuring out how to set my camera up when I don't have a setup. Anyways, this is the view. With shiny shoes. One and only. You know the vibes. We go into, I actually can't remember where I'm going, honestly. We got some Shep over there. Bah, bah. Yeah, I think this is like Pontypool area, about half an hour outside of Cardiff. It's a whole lot of forestry over there. Yeah, man. Anyways, I still got about 6 minutes left of this journey. Sorry, excuse me, we got 7 forever. We got 7 forever on Orcs. Yeah, man, it's uphill. Like, I don't know if you guys can see this incline. I've been going at first gear, second gear this entire time. It's crazy. Anyways, this me. Current situation, I got about 39 minutes of recording time left on this cassette. I do have a spare, but I don't know if it's been used yet or not. So yeah, that's something that I'm gonna have to consider. I still have zero idea what I'm gonna record. I want it to be a Candid Talks. Let me stay focused on the road, man, because this is a single lane road. You know the ones where Americans always come to the UK and they're like, why are UK roads so narrow? Big man saying I was going down a country lane and my Land Rover that I rented was hanging off both sides of the road. Well on for that. Yeah, they be getting upset about that kind of thing. So yeah, I need to lock in. That's why I can't look at you guys right now and break the fourth wall. We still got about 4 minutes left of driving. Would you believe that this is a 60-mile-an-hour road, by the way? If you in the UK, I imagine you would. I'm going 26 miles an hour right now, which honestly, even that feels a little bit rapid. Yo, these views are actually so beautiful, I might just stop off. Spirit of adventure, bro. Look at this, take a look at this. We got sheep doo-doo all over the side of the road right now. Look at this, man. We in the wilderness, bro. We're just in farmland, surrounded by farmland. Anyways, this is actually beautiful. Wow. Yeah, man. I should have gotten more swagged out, but... Should we do the fit check now? I don't see why not. The time is currently like, what, close to 6 p.m. But it is still summer, so... Some motorcyclists going past right now. I'm currently... Oh, that's cute, man. That's relationship goals. It's 2 people on the motorbike. Anyways, I'm rocking If Looks Could Kill merch by Mr. Bobby, Mr. Lone. The rings, classic. The elephant one, my favorite that I always be wearing. And the other one that I always be wearing, courtesy of Ganesha Cardiff. I say courtesy. I bought them from there, and they were not cheap. But they're my classics. They're the ones that I rock every day. Yeezy Gap on the bottom. The Solomons on the bottom as well. This is one of them spots. I'm only half an hour outside of Cardiff right now, but we just got some sheep literally just chilling on the side of the road right now. It's crazy. Yo. Hey, excuse me. Can I ask for some directions? I wonder if they're petable. I'm not gonna do that. Oh, nah, never mind. They spooked. I'm a vegetarian, guys. It's okay. Google Maps tells me I've arrived. This is what the view's saying. I just came down that hill. Honestly, this camera does not do justice how steep that drone is because, yeah, I was hitting the brakes coming down that hill. Pause. I'm trying to figure out if this is actually an if this is an okay place to park my vehicle, because I don't want some angry farmer to. Yeah, man, I know. I don't want some angry farmer to start trying to chat to me talking about, hello, you're not supposed to park there, mate. Like, I'm not trying to hear that. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it as it is right now and just hope that, I don't know, the sheep speak to the ticket inspector when he comes through. Next clip, you'll see me. Hopefully, I'll be a bit closer to the lagoon. Google Maps tells me it's a 3-minute walk away, so we'll see. So the plus is that I have found the blue lagoon. Not looking very blue, not looking very lagoon. It's looking pretty dry if you ask me. The negative is that in order to get there I have to go down this massive rock face, which I honestly think would be pretty unwise to do. I'm gonna edge my way up to the edge, pause. Okay, so what looks to be the case is I'm actually not supposed to be behind there. Which is funny because I came through over there, which is the only place where the fence is actually open, so yeah, my mistake. I probably could have died low-key. Wow, yeah. We're thankful for his protection because, yeah, clearly this fence is up here for a reason. Anyways, so I've just asked the guy in the tractor where the lagoon, how to get to the lagoon. He's just told me up the hill, down the hill, and around the hill. I am quite a distance away. Oh, this is miserable. My car's by there. Oh man, alright, let's do this. Here we go. Okay, so I've basically walked in a complete circle. As you can see, there's the whip. I basically walked up there, kind of like behind there, all the way around, and up there, whoops, up there. I asked those guys up there for directions. They kind of helped. They basically told me get back into the car, drive up, and apparently like behind this sort of hill here there's a house. So yeah, that's what's looking like the plan is. One of them type places. Yeah man, it's one of them type places. Yeah, this is about to be lit. Let's go. Found it. We found it. Just came from that direction over there. Got bare Christmas trees here. Yeah man, it's a vibe actually, wow. There's a lot of Christmas trees here. This is mad. I actually don't know what the actual name of Christmas trees is, but yeah. And here we are. Blue Lagoon. As you can see, a little bit small. But yeah, this is it. I'm playing. It's over there. So yeah, this is the spot. There's actually a couple of people around here that I hadn't realized. But anyways, this is the lagoon. It is very dry right now because it's the middle of summer. This is me of Blue Lagoon. Let me get my microphones out. And let me pause this. I got Jim Legacy playing. Yo, let me sip some water by the way. Oh man. Ugh. You know the moments where you come away from the bottle when you have to take a deep breath because you nearly drowned? Because you were that parched. Yeah man, that's me. That is me. Anyways, yeah, welcome back to Candid Talks. I really wanted to record one because I'm back in Cardiff for a little bit. So here I am. I don't know exactly what I'm going to talk about. I don't know if I said that already. But let me mic up. That's the cam over there taking all my pics. I'm going to put a few in the vid. It's the lagoon. Yeah man, it's me, you know the vibes. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get over there. And I might try and start recording. I think I'm just gonna start recording at this point. I'm not gonna tell you what I'm recording with because I still haven't received a sponsorship deal. Granted, the last video only got like 20 views, so yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna pair the thing up, audio visuals in 3, 2, 1. Cool. You should be able to hear me clearer now. I'm gonna try to get over there. Yeah, over there. Right there. We'll see if I can figure it out. If not, then it will be a bit embarrassing and a bit awkward, but you know what? It's Candid Talks for a reason. I still don't know what I'm gonna talk about. Honestly, I was going through my notes app and I kind of am just thinking that it's just gonna be a thing where I'm just going through my notes and reading off the stuff that I'll be writing in my introspection sessions. I don't want to step on a spot that I think is grass and then it turns out to be like 3-foot deep water and I'm covered in like toxic green-blue algae or whatever the hell it was called. Anyways, I'm on the other side now. Should be easy as pie to get up to the spot where the camera's pointing. That's a really good song. That's one of my favorite songs by Travis Scott. Apple Pie. It's crazy how you can honestly hit your peak so early in your career. I say hit your peak. But to be honest, can I actually say that there have been better Travis Scott albums since Days Before Rodeo? Honestly, I don't know. Anyways, I'm at that spot. I'm probably not going to climb those rocks up there because those are the giving the telltale signs of, I don't know what the hell that was, but those rocks are giving the telltale signs of falling down at some point. And I'm not trying to die at 24, maybe at 27 or 28. I'm trying to join the club. Anyways, the first thing that came to mind when I was reading my notes was this recent one talking about immortality. A lot of people crave immortality. You know what I'm saying? It's like rich people crave immortality. Hold on, let me set this mic up properly. There we go. Rich people crave immortality. That's the thing about rich people. Once they've gained all there is to gain, I was going to say earned. They haven't really earned their riches. You know, you can't really say Jeff Bezos or, you know, executives from companies that benefit from, you know, slave labor in Congo, in Libya, in Dubai, you can't really say that they've earned what they've got. But anyways, the point that I was going to make was once they've gained all there is to gain, it's like, what else can you get? What can you get for the person that has it all? Time. That's what you can get. Time is worth so much more than money can ever get you. And I think that's why humans were designed to have a limited amount of time on Earth. Because if we had limitless time, it's weird. I'm torn between we would get nothing done or we would get everything done. Because, you know, you see those churches, those big vast, intricate buildings that had all these crazy designs, like in Italy or whatever, in Russia. Those places, you know, they took generations to build, right? What I'm getting at is they took generations to build, meaning that, let's say I started building it. My grandson, my great-grandson is going to be the person to finish it. You know what I'm saying? So would we get things done if we didn't, let me throw this into the water. Yeah. Anyways, that was satisfying. There's this one guy, his name's Brian Johnson. He's the guy that really wants to live forever. Whether he does, I don't know. I don't know if I'll live long enough to see if he does or not. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he plans to live forever. And he does all of this like blood transfusion stuff with his son, all of these crazy supplements, like 60 tablets a day or whatever. And apparently he has the body of like, I don't know, someone 10 years younger than him or something like that. Which is crazy because if you actually look at what he used to look like pre this whole body transformation thingy that he did, he looked like a completely different person. I think that's why I'm so particular about how I spend my time. Because why would I want to spend the limited time that I have here on this planet doing frivolous activities? You know what I'm saying? It's like, why not come to a cool place like this and enjoy the world that was given to us to explore, to see, to cultivate, to, you know, terraform or whatever. Rich people just want to buy time, they want to buy life because they want to be able to enjoy their riches. Because think about it. Bill Gates became a billionaire at like what, 40? Maybe 30 something, I don't know. Probably 40 something, middle-aged. Maybe I'm just yapping at this point. But anyways, let me come around and point the camera at a different spot. Hold on. This sucks, man. It doesn't actually suck. I'm actually trying to practice gratitude more nowadays. There's a golf ball. Anyways, I'm trying to practice gratitude more nowadays. Instead of, you know, I have to do this, having an I get to do this attitude. Because I feel like you enjoy life more when you think of it like that. Think of it from an I get to do this perspective. Like, you know, oh, I have to go to the gym later. I get to go to the gym later. There are people that, you know, don't have legs, don't have arms. They don't get to go to the gym. I mean, what do they be doing? Neck day every day? You know what I'm saying? Granted, like, that sounds like I'm joking around, but there's truth to every joke. You can't just do neck day every day. But some people don't have that choice. People talk about like the meaning of life all the time. And it's like, can people really say that life has meaning when you're living with immortality? You know what I mean? Can you really say that life has meaning when you're immortal? I don't necessarily think so. I don't really think that you can say that. Let me pause this. This is going to be so annoying to have to pair it up. Sorry, Ish. I was a lot better at this the first time around, but I really came here with no plan. Literally just like the first time. Sometimes you have to do things with no plan and just execute. There's a whole lot of dragonflies around here. Because think about it. Without death, there's no need to populate the earth. Because it reaches a cap and it's like, yeah, granted, new generations bring about new perspectives. But at the same time, you don't really need to populate because, like, there are certain countries in the world where it's like 85% of the population are people under 30. And then you get other populations where it's like 85% are over 30. Like Japan is a declining population. People are not having babies over there. In fact, the world is not having as many babies, aside from like, I don't know, Nigerians and Indians, because those guys just be, those guys are like in competition to have as many babies as possible. All right, let me go through some of the things in this list. Don't rush to overtake someone just to get caught up at the same red light. Yeah, sometimes you'll be on like a dual carriageway or whatever, and people will, I'm still developing this thought, but people will try and overtake you. You'll be going like, I don't know, 51 miles an hour in a dual carriageway. Not to say that that's what I'm doing. Miss me with that speed awareness course. I don't need another one. But anyways, yeah, sometimes people will rush to overtake you going like, I don't know, 55 or 56, because I think the speed camera threshold is 10% plus 2. So 57 miles an hour in a 50 is what will get you flashed. Um, I'm trying to get flashed, if you know what I'm saying. But anyways, let me stay on topic. Yeah, 57 miles an hour is what will get you flashed. If I'm going 51 or 52, there's always going to be someone that's going 53, 54, 55, etc. Trying to overtake me. And the thing with that is, yes, he'll overtake me, but at the end of that road, it's a red light. And best believe I'm going to show up at the same red light. And now you've burnt all of that fuel, all of that energy trying to overtake me just to end up at the same hindrance, at the same rock that's going to trip both of us up. Sometimes what we need is teamwork, you know? Sometimes you don't need to be first, but rather, I think it's like the whole crabs in a bucket mentality. And you get that with the London scene a lot, or just this scene in the UK a lot, where people want to be first to do things, people want to be the biggest, people want to be the only one to do things. No one wants to help each other out. No one wants to give someone a leg up, what's it called? The step up that someone needs, and then they'll help them by pulling them up. No one wants to do that. Everyone just wants to do things by themselves. I don't, I don't know if you guys can hear that or see that, but it's some kids in the background and it's some rocks that are falling off the cliff. And I really don't feel like having to be a hero today and help them out when these rocks fall down. I really hope they behave themselves. But anyways, life isn't about being first all the time, you know? Like, yeah, Soldier Boy already did everything. You don't need to be first. Over 100 billion people have lived on the earth. Every single thought that you've had has already been thought at some point in some way, shape, or form. Every single thing you've said, you know, the ones where people are like, wow, you might just have crafted a whole new sentence. Honestly, I struggle to believe that a lot of the time. Like, you could say, oh, yeah, the custard penguins fell out of the sky. Honestly, someone's probably saying that right now in this moment. It's 8.5 billion people on the planet. I'm just rambling at this point. Long story short, just do your thing, man. Do your thing and don't be afraid to help out the next person or give pointers to the next person, because at the end of the day, everyone's trying to achieve something, and everyone can offer everyone a unique perspective on everything. That's why some of the best beats that are known to man are the ones where it's like 8 people. Um, when I say best beats, like best backing tracks for songs, some of the best ones are the ones where it's like 8 producers in a room and they all just sort of like take turns adding, like, I don't know, like a key here, hi-hat there, snare there, etc., etc. That's why some of the best songs in the world are the ones where all of the rappers just run a train on the beat, for lack of a better term. Um, because everyone's just offering a good perspective. Like, that's why Oldie by Old Future is such a popular song, because they all just went crazy on their verses. One Train by ASAP Rocky, they all went crazy on their verses. ASAP Mob was going crazy. Brockhampton, they had their time. And the thing is, people like to deny it, but they were going crazy back in the day. I still spin rental sometimes. Um, and yeah, like, man, it's just teamwork makes a dream work, and we could really do with more of that in this day and age. And I'm glad that a lot of people in the London scene seem to be opening up to that as well. I really am glad. Um, I feel like I feel like we can move on from that idea. I do want to make one statement about Lot's wife, because I think about the story of Lot all the time in the Bible. Like, his story, his life was crazy when you deep it. He was living in a city where they were just doing up crazy freak off Diddy parties 24/7, 25/8, fam. It was crazy. They were doing up insanity all the time. And God was just like, nah, I've had enough of this. Get them gone. And he got them gone. But yeah, he did that, and they were told not to look back. They didn't know why they we shouldn't look back. But Lot's wife decided to look back. And honestly, I think that's the first. Um, Feel free to skip this, by the way, if you're not religiously inclined. But if you are, if you're interested in like just the historical aspect, because I'm interested in history, um, and it's just like cool stories and stuff like that. I feel like that's the first display of FOMO in like just history in general. A woman turned around and God was like, nah, man, turn her into a pillar of salt. Because clearly she has fear of missing out on what is happening over there. Like, they could hear the bombs. Like, bro, it was God was doing up Hiroshima and Nagasaki on those towns. And she was like, let me take a look at that. Granted, would I have taken a look? If I'd have known what would have happened, absolutely not. It's all about faith at the end of the day. A mustard seed. You know how small a mustard seed is? That's all you need for real. And boom. Mountains can be moved, bro. Mountains. Do you know how big a mountain is? Do you know how big a mountain is? I climbed Mount Fuji last year. It's not a small feat. It's a tall order. They say that a wise man climbs Mount Fuji once, a fool climbs it twice. And best believe I'm no fool. You will never catch me climbing that mountain ever again. Unless there's a baddie at the top. No, I'm playing. But for real though, yeah, nah, you won't catch me up that mountain. Hey, dragonfly, nice. This is a fat one as well. Yeah. Let me see how much time I've got left on this video. Damn, I got 2 minutes left. Shall I change cassette or shall I let it? Shall I let it go? Those guys are turning back. Yeah. I hope they had fun. Thankfully, they didn't die. Wow, they some vapists. I didn't even realize. That's what I've been calling vapors as of late. Vapists. They be getting pissed off when I do it as well. Because it's like, I mean, for obvious reasons. I don't know why. Anyways, let me switch the cassette. Hold on. Visual pair in 3, 2, 1. Okay, and I'm back. Yeah, man. Should I go to that rock over there? Maybe I should. Maybe I should. Let me make this quick though. I'm only going to want to be here for like 15 or 20 because I actually think the sun is setting. So I should have been more prepared, man. Okay, let me not rush because I just nearly twisted the flip out of my ankle. That would not be a good situation. I'm gonna have to what 3 words this place. Okay, yeah, this moss is serious. Because I actually want to record some quality stuff and say some quality stuff. And not just, babble, you know, which kind of maybe defeats the purpose of candid talks. But at the same time, yes, the talks should be candid, but I don't want them to just be nonsensical. There's balance that needs to be found. Maybe I should stop talking. Because when I was editing the other video, I didn't really like the fact that you couldn't see me in half of it. So yeah, it's always fun when you're on like a hike and walking through like a rocky spot with boulders. And the boulders move like half an inch and give you like a mini heart attack. That's always a fun moment, isn't it? I don't know if you just saw that, but I just nearly body planted. Okay, cool. I've made it. Now let's see if I can actually sit here. Yeah, I can do it. There we go. Okay. Shoes don't fail me now, fam. There we go. I can't even see. Oh, there's the camera. What's good? What's up? That actually didn't take too long. Only 3 minutes. I met this interesting guy when I was in Italy. On the first night when I was in Italy. You know those ones where you arrive in a new spot and it's like 7 p.m. or something? And you just decide to leave the hotel to walk around the local area? I found myself at this waffle spot that was manned by like, I don't know, this guy. Italian guy. It's like a waffle stand. It's a fly on my hand. Anyways, this waffle stand that was being manned by like this Italian guy. So I'm like, hey man, yeah, let me get a waffle actually. Waffles that was stuffed with like, I don't know, Biscoff or caramel or whatever. And this guy, North American sounding accent. The funny thing about Canadians and Americans, US Americans, is that a lot of them do sound the same. Like if you were to put 2 of them together from like the average, like just randomly, you probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference in terms of accent. But they can tell the difference between each other, and it's funny. It's really funny. And they like, they have like kind of like a little bit of a divide. I don't know. But anyways, we get to chit chat, and it's this guy. He's like 50, 60 years old. He's with his 50, 60-year-old friends. Which is it's kind of precious, low key, being that old and being able to, still plan vacations and that will actually make it out of the group chat. Because I mean, if you watch the Japanese documentary, I kind of got into a thing where I was like, I'm gonna just stop waiting for people and I'm gonna just go. And there are other elements as to why I tend to prefer doing things on my own, but I'm digressing here. So, yeah, he basically said like, at the end of the day, I'm reading this by the way. At the end of the day, when you're in a retirement home, you'll all be eating the same soup, but you'll all have different life experiences, and you don't want to be sitting in that retirement home sipping soup after living a sipping soup lifestyle. Like, you know what I mean? You don't want to have spent the previous 80 years or however old you'll be in that retirement home living a sip and soup lifestyle, living a lifestyle where you might as well have just been sipping soup the entire time. You want to live a life where, I don't know, you'll have been doing craziness, going to Italy with your 50 and 60-year-old friends. That's the kind of thing that you want to do, man. Yeah. It's so many little flies around here. I don't know if they're fruit flies or what, but it's a massive swarm. I'm also hearing rustling in the bushes and trees. That's kind of spooky, considering it's 8 p.m. right now. I've been here for hours. I think it's a bird. It's a plane. I'ma ride for my name. I'ma live. I'ma die. I'm not really a massive fan of what Lancey's been doing lately with his music. I preferred what he had with Life in Hell. I don't really like the abrasive stuff. People seem to be way more abrasive nowadays. Um, and I don't know, man. I like the melodies. I like the stuff that is like, because you can tell that he still has the Life in Hell mentality in him, like in his interviews and stuff. You can tell, but he's just more on the abrasive stuff or more of the flexing stuff. You know what I mean? I have this theory about ChatGPT becoming the new notes app. People treat ChatGPT like, why does this thing sound hollow? Let me look, listen to this. I'm knocking on this rock right now. Why does it sound like that? The producers of the ISH MZR show need to spend more on their props because these rocks are not very convincing, guys. Anyways, yeah. What was I saying? I asked my close friend Story the other week if like what they would rather have leaked to the world, either their notes app, their complete internet history, both like incognito, VPN, retata, or their ChatGPT history. Most people said their ChatGPT history, but I think the reason for that, I have a theory. The reason for that is because ChatGPT is new and people haven't put all their craziness into it yet. Me personally, I'd rather have my ChatGPT history leaked because I haven't really searched anything crazy yet. But there are certain people in the world that I know for a fact would rather have their notes app or their gallery even leaked to the world. Why that's the case? Because they be treating ChatGPT like it's their free therapist. And honestly, do I have an issue with that? Not necessarily. A lot of people seem to have an issue with that. I don't really understand why. Granted, there are elements of like, the whole climate change, global warming situation. Yes, that is an issue. But if it's, I need to figure out how to word this properly. If it's benefiting people to the point where people aren't ending their lives, then I don't see an issue because look, the waiting list for mental health services, especially like in the UK, NHS related, whatever, is long enough to reach from here to Saturn. You know what I mean? It's like, what are we actually doing? Um, so why not? And you don't want to be going to your friends with some of this stuff because we live in a society now that's such a BS phrase, but we do live in a society now where people have this "you don't owe me anything, I don't owe you anything" thing, and people don't want to bother their friends with that stuff. I don't want to bother my friends with that stuff. I don't want to talk to my friends about how my mental health is. I don't want to talk to you guys about how my mental health is. I want to talk to, I don't know, a licensed professional or a non-judgmental figure. And ChatGPT is that non-judgmental figure to a lot of people. We're in a not even just a male loneliness epidemic, but a people loneliness epidemic. The movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix perfectly predicted the future. The Be Right Back episode of Black Mirror perfectly predicted the future. Both of those things could happen right now. Granted, the Be Right Back episode would probably be a little bit less accurate just simply because I don't think you can create organic matter that lives and breathes in the same way, in like a Westworld-esque way that Be Right Back did at this point in time. But that AI situation, you could go to my Twitter right now and probably my AI chat history and also the previous videos that I've made, and you'd be able to create like a pretty much close to perfect accurate rendition of or accurate recreation of myself and speak to them, and they would reply exactly how I would reply. You know what I mean? So yeah, we live in a time where people can, where was I even going with this thought? um what I'm getting at is AI really is the future. It's like the internet, and it's like, debit cards, credit cards, whatever. Every generation has had some piece of technology. Every decade has had some piece of technology that people wanted to reject, but it just ended up um, being mass accepted by the world. I feel like the 2010s was either like wide scale social media or maybe even smartphones. The 2000s was probably, I don't even know actually, maybe like text messaging or something like that, or video calling or whatever. This decade is AI for sure, but there are so many risks with it, and I know that there are so many videos already talking about this, and my opinion is probably not even original. We've already spoken about originality in this video, but I really do think that um it's the future, and if you don't hop on the thing, pause, you're gonna get left behind. Um so yeah. That's what I had to say about that. ChatGPT is becoming the new Notes app. Do I treat it like the Notes app? Not necessarily. I do give it some of my ideas and ask it for feedback sometimes. And I do, like the way I use it is I tend to ask it for clarification on certain things. I also ask it questions that I know that Google wouldn't do a good job of answering. Um, I don't really use it to generate ideas. I try to generate my own ideas myself. I don't like the idea of using AI to write scripts for you or whatever. But when it comes to cleaning up text messages or emails and that kind of thing, I don't really see an issue with that. Or making stuff professional, I don't really see an issue with that. But when it comes to when people start using it as like, yo, this is my situation with my girl. I need to apologize. Help me out. Like, come on, bro. What are you talking about here? That's not an apology. That's just, that's not an apology. You're basically making someone else apologize for you. You know what I mean? It's like that one episode of Atlanta where um white fashion, where Paperboy apologized for the white people who were getting cancelled from this fashion from this high fashion brand. It's like, that's clearly not a genuine thing. You're just trying to get out of a situation by any means necessary. Anyways, that's all I have to say about that. Um If anyone is going to say anything nasty about you, let it be a result of you doing good. I think that's important. You don't want to be in a situation where people start saying nasty things about you because of you being nasty, because then they're actually in the right. But and they're actually speaking factually. But when people are saying nasty things about you because you did good, like, oh, bro, why is that guy giving so much money to homeless people? Like, what are we talking about? I feel like I don't really need to go into much more detail about that thought. Yeah, as long as you're doing good in the world, people will talk about you in no matter what you do. So why not let it be about something good or as a result of you doing something good? So yeah, I have a question for some of you guys, for the 0 people that will comment on this video. Do you guys get product placement in your dreams? Because I definitely have at least once received an advert in my dreams. And I don't even know if it was for a real product, but I definitely have at least once. So my question is, are those who don't see product placement in their dreams more strongly spirited than those that do? What do you guys think? Let me know. This is a good thought, and it's one that I've been meaning to create a close friends Instagram, because if you're on my close friends story, you'll know that I sometimes write crazy long thought vomits on just one singular story. People get pissed off at me. They're like, bro, who is reading all this? Who do you actually think is reading all this? Nigga, me in the future and the aliens. If you guys aren't reading it, then hey, maybe the aliens and future generations will. Because let's be honest, my children's 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 children will be able to see my digital presence. They'll be able to see this video and be like, this is what my great, 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 great grandfather was thinking back in the day. This is what he used to think. This is the way he used to see the world. I don't know anything about my great 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 grandfather, even about my great grandfather. I don't know anything about them. Like, I know a limited amount about my grandparents. You know what I mean? There's a divide there. But this landscape that we live in is allowing us to catalog our lives and keep digital artifacts of lives that were once lived for future generations to see. You know what I mean? But that's the thing. Storage costs money. Storage costs space. Storage costs technology. In the future, what will storage look like? Because the cloud isn't the cloud. In case you weren't aware, the internet is actually a solid state, like, kind of thing. Like, there are these server farms that hold all of the data within the internet, in case you weren't aware. So it's like stuff gets deleted. That's why the Wayback Machine exists. It's an internet archive of stuff that gets deleted. But anyways, where was I going with this? If you're in my close friend story, you'll know that I make stories about this like stuff sometimes, and this is one that I've been meaning to make a story about, but I've just never gotten around to it. The title is "The Socks Were Made to Be Worn, Bro." And what I'm getting at is trends come and trends go. We live in a consumerist society where everyone just wants to be trendy, everyone wants to just be in um in fashion and just, you know, a part of what is current. No one wants to be left behind. But at the same time, there are people that don't care about being left behind and want to just be right. And those are the Luddites, those are the AI haters. Personally, I just vibe with what works for me, honestly. Like, you could call me trendy, but at the same time, a lot of the stuff that I do, say, and wear could be considered, you know, either outdated or future focused. Um, I just do what works for me. I try to do what works for me. I try not to be like, everyone says that they try not to be influenced by the masses. I try not to be influenced by the masses, but at the same time, everyone is to some extent. Anyways, the socks were meant to be worn, bro. I bought some trainer socks years ago. They're still fine, no holes in them. They still work perfectly fine. But I was wearing shorts to go on my daily walk a little while ago, and I was feeling the type of way. Maybe this is just like, my not anxiety, but just like my self-awareness doing donuts in my head. I was thinking, like, do I really want to wear these? What will people think if they see me wearing these training socks with my ankles out? And then I was thinking to myself, bro, the socks were literally made to be worn. Who cares about whether they're trendy or not? And I think more people need to consider that. Who cares about whether the clothes you're wearing are trendy or not? Who cares about what you're saying? Who cares about whether what you're saying is current or not? It was still meant to be said. The socks were still meant to be worn. The clothes were still made to be worn. The car was still made to be driven. It doesn't matter if your car's 25 years old. If it works, it was made to be driven. It doesn't matter if this is a very risky thought, but it doesn't matter if the president is 90 years old. If it works, the president was made to be president, and the king was made to be king. The queen was made to be queen. That's why she stayed in power until her dying breath. A lot of people were like, "Rah, I'm expecting her to retire or to roll the end credits once she hits her, like, I don't know, platinum jubilee or whatever it was, just for her to keep it going." And boom, Liz Truss did her thing, and she was so bad that the queen was like, "Nah, I've seen enough." I've seen enough, fam. This lettuce lady ruining the country. I've seen enough. I'm gonna let Charlie deal with this. And yeah, now Charlie's in power. But anyways, I think that's about enough. The sun's going down. It's 22 minutes past, and I told myself that once I hit 15 minutes of recording on this clip, then I would end it. But it's I was getting into my groove, and yeah. So now the challenge of getting down from this rock without falling into this toxic water. The sign said that it was toxic. Oh dear. Okay, come on, shiny shoes, you can do this. I saw some people gathering firewood for a fire over there somewhere. I'm hoping that they've actually that they've started it by now. If they have, I'll include a clip at the end of this. If not, sorry, innit? But yeah, anyways, let me try walking across to where the camera's at. It would have looked so much better if it was more zoomed in. I can already tell, but oh well, it's whatever. Anyways, let me point the camera over here. It's been super fun recording today. It's been super blessed. I hope that echo. I can hear my echo. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I'm recording my outro again in case the other one was dead. Thank you for sharing your time with me, spending your time. I hope it was time well spent. And I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. I need to come here again. This is a really beautiful spot. But yeah, keep it real, and I'll see you later. Alligators. Peace. To an extent, man. To an extent.
You want to eat something or?
Nah, I'm okay actually. I'm just on my way back to my car. Yeah. You guys from here?
Sorry?
Are you from here?
No. Bristol.
Oh, okay.
We just relax a little bit.
Nice, man. Yeah.
Chill.